We were taught the labyrinth was built to hold a monster. That is the lie. It was built to hide a crime.
Every year, 14 young Athenians were dragged across the sea and pushed into a black stone slaughterhouse. None of them were supposed to walk out.
But the worst thing in that maze was not the creature waiting in the dark. It was the king above it, pretending the palace was clean. His name was Minos. He wanted Crete to believe he had been chosen by the gods. So he asked Poseidon for a sign, and the god answered. From the sea came a white bull, not an animal, a public miracle, a living contract. Minos was supposed to sacrifice it back to the god, but power has a simple disease. Once it touches something sacred, it calls it property. Minos looked at the bull and kept it. He thought he could cheat a god and keep the crown. Poseidon did not throw a lightning bolt. That would have been too easy. His revenge crawled into the royal house. It reached the queen. It entered the bloodline. And soon the palace had a child it could not explain. The Minotaur was not born in a cave. He was not born on a battlefield. He was born inside power. That is what made him dangerous. Not just his horns, not just his hunger. His existence proved that the king had lied. He was not a beast from the edge of the world. He was evidence. And evidence is the one monster every corrupt ruler fears. Minos had 3 choices: confess, kill the child, or hide him. He chose the cleanest lie. He called Daedalus the builder, the genius, the man who could turn shame into architecture. Daedalus did not just build a prison. He built a story the public could believe. Corridors folded into corridors. Doors led nowhere. The center disappeared inside the design. And the king's dirty secret became a national monument. That is the real horror of the labyrinth. It was not chaos. It was management. It gave shame a floor plan. It gave guilt a lock. It gave the palace a way to stay beautiful while children died beneath it. Then Athens became part of the machine. Every cycle, a tribute arrived. 7 young men, 7 young women, names erased, bodies counted, a schedule written in fear. They were not killed by one monster. They were killed by a system that needed the monster to exist. The king needed the maze. The maze needed victims. And the victims made the secret feel normal. At the center was the Minotaur. Yes, he was dangerous. Do not make him innocent just because the king was worse. He had teeth. He had hunger. People died in front of him. But ask the question the myth tries to rush past. Who built the room? Who locked the door? Who made sure food kept coming? The Greeks called him a monster. But look at his life. He was born from a punishment he did not choose. His mother could not keep him. His stepfather buried him alive. His city learned to fear him because fear was useful. So when Theseus finally entered the maze, what was he really walking into? A monster hunt or a cover-up with walls? Theseus had a sword. But a sword was not enough. The labyrinth was not built to defeat strength. It was built to defeat memory. That is why Ariadne's thread mattered. A thin red line, almost nothing, but it remembered every turn the palace wanted forgotten. It remembered the way in. It remembered the way out. It turned confusion back into a path. Theseus followed the thread into the center. The breathing was there. The shadow was there. The son of the king's sin was waiting in the dark.
The old story says the hero killed the monster. Maybe he did. But here is the uglier question. When Theseus raised the sword, was he saving Athens?
Or was he helping Minos erase the bloodline no one was allowed to see? He did not kill the king. He did not burn the palace. He did not tear down the system that demanded children.
He killed the evidence at the center. Then he followed the thread back into daylight. The people could cheer. The story could call him a hero. The palace could breathe again.
But stone remembers. The monster died. The maze remained.